y'all. It's your boy Sam.
Enrico. We're going to talk about our experiences living as being seen female versus male in society, and probably just mostly talking about the male privileges that we have gained.
Yeah, so we really wanted to touch on like male privilege and about like how much of a problem it is, just because, you know, we have lived our lives as both female and male, and, you know, I feel like a lot of people don't really think that male privilege exists, or, you know, a lot of men think that male privilege doesn't exist, but, you know, obviously we've gotten to see both sides of it and can prove that it's a real thing. We were like inspired to do this talk because back in February we did that Kind Clinic benefit where we raised money for the Kind Clinic, and that was basically our focus of that talk that day.
This event was at a bar, and it started us with us having a special tea time episode that was recorded, but the footage got lost. It's maybe a blessing. But yeah, we were trying to think of a topic, and I think it's a very important topic. But ever since then, I think we forgot about that talk. Because I know right after we did that, we were like, we should make this like a tea time episode on YouTube. But life happened, we got busy. But now we're here to rehash all of that and condense it into a tea time episode.
Yeah, the last one was like 45 minutes long.
Yeah, it was a mess, but it was a learning experience.
Yeah, our first times talking in public, and so we've grown so much.
Yeah, no, I honestly thought I was talking for I thought we were talking for like 15, 20 minutes, right? And like, it's finally over. I was like, how long did it run? Like, a little over 45 minutes. I'm like, why didn't no one stop?
And like, literally the whole time I'm staring at Rico, giving him like this death glare, like, dude, let's shut the fuck up.
You should have said that.
I had stopped talking like 20 minutes before, and Rico just went on like a rant.
Yeah, no, well, I thought you had
rant.
Right. I thought you didn't know what to say.
No, I was just like looking at him like this, like,
you have a mic. Should be like, Rico, it's been
shut the fuck up. We
need to wrap this shit up. People are like falling asleep.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're gonna make this a long story short.
Yep.
So I would like to start with like the things that are kind of ingrained in you if you were raised female. One of like the main things that have stuck with me and I think will always be with me is like walking alone at night, like downtown or anywhere. Like I always am looking over my shoulder. My eyes are just like, I don't want to make it obvious that I'm looking. Like, if anyone's walking behind me and I hear them walking behind me, I'm like fucking nervous. You know what I mean? So I just like look over my shoulder a bit. You know the thing, like holding onto your keys. Do you know how? Yeah, you put your keys in between your fingers so you're ready to like fuck someone up if someone like does something. And I don't want to assume, but I'm going to a little bit, that many men never have heard of that or never had to like worry about that. I'm talking about like cis white straight men most likely. Also drinking. If I'm drinking at a house party or at the bar, I always have my drink in front of me. I never leave it alone. That's like the number one rule for girls, you know what I mean? Always watch your drink. Watch the bartender pour your drink. If a stranger buys you a drink, don't fucking drink that. Just like, and like signs to tell if a drink is spiked, and just always cover it, put a napkin over it, make sure your friend watches it. If you go to the bathroom, just always watch your drink. And again, I don't think many people raised as a man have ever had to think of that. Again, I'm talking mostly cis, straight, white men here. Another thing that is ingrained in me is like looking out for girls. You know what I mean? Like when I thought I was a girl and I was out with my friends that were girls, like you look out for each other. It's a thing. Like if you see like one of your friends like trailed off and was talking to a guy, I always read their body language to make sure they're okay. Because like as girls, we were raised to like we don't know how to like turn down men or don't know how to like get out of a situation that's scary, because you never know what men could do if you brush them the wrong way. So protection mode definitely like hits us both hard. I know that.
Oh yeah, for sure. I almost got in 2 fights at a bar in Austin this week just because of, you know, just people like overstepping their boundaries and my friends not knowing how to say no or like not knowing how to like leave that situation. And so I like felt the need to step into that, and like, yeah, no, I will forever be very protective, especially like of like my like feminine friends for sure. Like not even if like they're women, but like my feminine friends, like my non-binary friends, like they're like even if they're AMAB or my trans women friends, like I'm like extremely protective of them.
And anyone watching this, no matter how you identify or whatever, I hope that you do this. If you don't, please like start doing that. Like just shoot your friend that look. Like give them the eye. Like
yeah,
be good.
Be good. And you know that your friend is like really shy and really uncomfortable in those kind of situations where they don't know how to say no, or they you know that they feel pressured in order like to do stuff that they might not want to do. Then have like if you're going downtown with them, make sure you like have a signal. You know, we've done that with a couple of our friends who are uncomfortable in downtown situations where I know that there's a specific signal that that friend will give me if they're feeling uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I think that's something for me that like was always ingrained in me is just being very passive. Like I was always very passive when like surrounded by men. Like you know, and that's something that I still struggle with. Like if I'm in a group just full of like cis men, I often like I guess like let them talk over me, or like I let them interrupt me, or I let them like get out what they want to say. Like even if I'm in the middle of a conversation, like I'm always the first one to like take a step back and like let them say what they have to say.
Oh really?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I could relate to that. I've always been like a sassy bitch. If I have something to say, I'm gonna fucking say it. You know? Though I do have to say though, when a woman is talking, I am so adamant, and I need to be sure that I'm not interrupting, that I'm listening. You know what I mean? I know that's a thing.
Yeah.
Like a lot of times, like women, I see it at work all the time. Dudes are talking, someone's just trying to say something, but they're always just out talked.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm like, shut the fuck up, she's trying to say something. Or if we both try to talk at the same time, I'm like, sorry, no, go ahead. You know what I mean? So I'm super hyper aware of that because I know that's like a big thing.
Yeah, it's definitely something that I've struggled with before.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the number one thing that we've heard, and we've actually had people approach us about, and something that me and Rico both had like the realization at the same time, and like I think I even got like some Instagram messages or something about this, but somebody was talking about like the sidewalk issue and about like how when you're perceived as female, you know, like if you keep walking down the sidewalk and you don't move, that guy's just gonna if a guy is like walking towards a female on the sidewalk, if she does not move, he will bump into her.
You will get bulldozed.
Yeah, like the guy will literally just keep walking until he hits you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's definitely something I realized. Is like when I was perceived as female, I would have to be the one to move around that guy on the sidewalk.
Absolutely.
And now that like I am perceived as male, I will just keep walking, and chances are like it's like a 50-50 thing now, like whether he's gonna move or whether I'm gonna move, or you know, if like, I'm feeling nice, I will move. If not, I'll fucking bulldoze him, you know what I mean? Like, but I think that's definitely been like a big issue. It's just like men always feel like they have the fucking right to go where they want to go, and them getting to their destination is more important than the girl getting to their destination, so the girl better get out of the fucking way.
Yeah, I think they don't think twice about it because they live their whole life that way. Like,
no, I don't even think it's like a conscious thought in their brain. I don't think that they're thinking about it at all. They just expect this thing to be done.
Yeah, it's simply their male privilege, whether they realize it or not. But yeah, I challenge you, try that one day if you are female presenting in any sense. Walk down the sidewalk, don't move, and see how many times you get bumped into. It's not funny, but it's real shit for sure. Walking down the sidewalk, I definitely see all the women just, excuse me, sorry, and it's like, I could do the same thing, you know what I mean?
Girl, why are you sorry?
Yeah, why are you
trying to go somewhere?
But yeah, I think that like brings us into male privilege as a whole, like that it is a real thing, and we have it's uncomfortable, it's awkward, it's weird.
I think like I've had some extremely uncomfortable conversations like since like being perceived as male, like you know, like now that I'm just seen as like one of the guys, you know, I've had so many like really uncomfortable conversations about women and about like, you know, like just men like objectifying women or talking about their bodies or talking about wanting to like sleep with them or like just like getting really inappropriate, and they think that it's okay with me because they don't know my past and they don't know that like, I mean, like, even if I wasn't trans, I wouldn't think it was okay. You know what I mean? Like just like, but men think that they can talk to me and objectify women now because I'm just a guy, and they think that that's acceptable, which obviously it's not. It makes me really uncomfortable. Like can't tell you how many times like I've heard a guy like refer to a female as just some bitch or just some hoe or just something like that, and it just like has always made me really uncomfortable just to hear them talk about them that way, or just like talk about, yeah, I'm gonna go bang this chick later, blah 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 blah. I was working at a job recently where I had a driver come pick me up from that job, and I was talking to him about where I work and about how the owners are two women, and he was like, two women? Like and I think he was from a different country. I don't think that their customs are the same, but like he made this big deal. He's like, how do you feel about working under two women? I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, these women
What do you mean?
Are my bosses. They own this business. They bought this business. They put this business together. This business is their baby. Like, they live and breathe this job. Like, what do you mean? How do I feel about working under women?
And I just want to touch on this lightly because this is a whole another topic. But having these new experiences as a trans man, that's how a lot of trans guys unfortunately get wrapped up in trying to fit in to be one of the guys and acting just like these men, which is toxic. And I think it's your job as a trans guy. I know you want it so hard to be one of the guys sometimes, but I don't know if I want to say it's your job, but you have this option, you have this choice to be just like them or to actually be a gentleman and correct them and be like, dude, that's actually not cool.
And if you want to see us talk about that, we actually have a very lovely cringy video from our past ABCs of Trans. It's called Toxic Masculinity. So check that out.
True.
It's a little cringy because we were babies, but it's there, and we definitely talk about that and go into that more in detail. So if you have not seen that video, go check it out. I mean, ultimately, I just think that ever since I've been perceived as male, is that I've just been, like, for lack of a better phrase, just taken more seriously. I feel like my opinions are more appreciated or, like, taken into account. I feel like I actually have a voice now, even if I am still passive in certain situations. I definitely feel like I am heard more often now than I used to be. I feel like I get a certain sense of, like, respect from other men now.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, like, they take me seriously now, like, if I want to, like, talk about a certain thing that's, like, a guy topic, like, as I've always been a very masculine person, and, if I wanted to, like, talk about cars or sports or anything that I wanted to talk about, like, as a female, they wouldn't take me seriously, like, they just didn't care. They just wanted to, like, because they know everything. They feel like they know better than I do because I wasn't male. And I feel like now, like, if I have input for specific things that are seen as masculine or male, then I'm actually taking more seriously. Or, like, if I just, like, I just feel like there is definitely, like, a certain level of respect that men will give other men, but they won't give them to females because they are supposed to be, like, passive or submissive or whatever, like, something like that.
I feel like for me, mostly, it's not something tangible. Like, I just feel it in the air when I'm with other dudes. It's like, I don't know, it's just like, they feel like, oh, okay, it's like another guy around. Like, we can actually be real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just feel it, and I never felt that when I was female presenting. And it sucks. I can't really explain it, but those that, can relate, it's a strange feeling. We could go on and on for days about differences, but I feel like we had some good, important points. You know what I mean?
Definitely, yeah. But I mean, like, honestly, we're always down to hear other, like, things that you guys have seen. So if you guys have, like, experienced something that felt like male privilege to you ever since, you started being perceived as male, drop a comment below, let us know.
And also, if you're a trans woman, I'm curious the other way around, too.
Yes! Yeah. That's genius.
Yeah. Yes. You know what to do. If you like this video, please like, comment, share, and definitely subscribe. Yes. And we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.